Alright, for this I'm using 3/4 inch square tubing, 1/8 inch wall. If I could do it again, I'd pick up Unistrut from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's in the electrical section. Cleaning it off with acetone here, getting all the grease off of it. I'll hit those with some primer and then some flat back paint. They're not really going to be seen, so it's not totally necessary, but might as well. And you know, these were a little more spendy than picking up Unistrut. That's why I say if I could do it again, I would have gone with that, just as strong. I'm measuring from the blade to the edge of the fence on the circular saw, setting up a fence here to rip 3-inch strips. You'll see later on, making the plywood look thicker. Some clamps from my grandpa, they're old. Okay. And then enough of that. I brought out the table saw. You don't really have to. You can really build this whole thing with just circular saw and a drill. Cutting some more 3-inch strips here. You'll need, in total, I think you'll need 4 of them. You can use more if you want to, just add to the rigidity of this. This only uses 2 sheets of plywood. I got the better stuff. I think it was like $65 a sheet. Maybe a little more. Every day it seems to be getting to be a little more. Okay, so I glue these on the edges. I'm using 1.25 inch nails. You can use screws. You can just clamp it and let the glue dry. This adds the thickness of the plywood a little bit to strength, not much. That's mostly what the steel will do. Just tacking these down, nails hold it in place, and the glue will dry. Cutting off the ends here. I'll use a sander just to hit them, just to even them up a little bit. And much of this process is the same. You'll see on the outer edges, it's always doubled up. In the middle, I didn't need to double it up. This is for a full-size bed. You could do a full or a queen with this style, with just 2 sheets. Once you get up to a king, you'd want to either have a 3rd sheet or change the design a little bit. I just enjoy the process of building. I think it's a rewarding thing to do, and you know, sometimes I see expensive furniture that I want and I decide to build it instead. Here we're just doing the end, so just think all the outer edges will have doubled up plywood, mostly for the looks. You'll glue, screw it there. Quite simple. Sanding up the edges. Everything flush. I think we got 2 more here to finish up. Really an easy project. Turned out good. It looks good. Don't need a lot of tools. Here I'm drilling out the steel. This is why I say use Unistrut. It already has pre-slotted holes in it. I think I overcomplicated this part a little bit, and the price of steel has gone up too quite a bit. But Unistrut, I think you can get a 10-foot section for probably around 25 bucks. Then you cut it in half, and you can use a hacksaw to do that, and it serves the same purpose. Took me forever drilling these out. Again, just use Unistrut. If I did it again, that's what I'd use. It'd be just as strong. So you can get away with 4 of these. You'll see I added a few more legs to this build just to make it a little bit stronger. Lining everything up, I put some 3/4 inch pieces of plywood as spacers in between. Lay my steel bars down evenly. I'm leaving a gap there at the end because that's where my legs will go. So you see I have the legs there. I drilled these out, and I put some nut inserts on the other side. If you get Unistrut, it has slots. I'd get big washers and some 3/4 inch screws, and just put a bunch of screws in it, or bolt it from the top down with carriage bolts. Either would work. Once you get those drilled, flip it, put in the nut inserts. Here I'm measuring out just to get it even. That's back before it was really cold. These are putting in the nut inserts there. Just pound them in from this side and hit bolts from the other side. Make sure your bolts aren't too long. They'll hit the bottom of your mattress if they are. Then we'll flip everything back over, lay your steel bars back down. And put some bolts in from the underside. These steel bars are probably a little overkill. Sorry for the butt picture there. Then you'll see I get all these in. I get my legs installed in the middle. It had a little more flex than I wanted it to have. I wanted it to be real sturdy, just in case. So I added a few more legs to it, and called it good. I lost the video of I rounded off the edges. You'll see it in the final pictures, but I rounded off the edges just so you weren't banging your legs up, and hit it with a golden oak stain and then a couple coats of polyurethane. Turned out good. Getting the last of the bolts in. Now the legs. I'm using some thick 3/4 inch screws on these legs here. It would have been fine with just the 4, but it's much more sturdy with I added one on either side in the middle there. We'll link the legs there in the description if you like those. Flipping it over. Little test run. You see the flex here. There's some flex, more flex than I'd like in the middle there, so that's why I added the other legs. And now it's really sturdy. Simple build. turned out good. Check out the final pictures. You'll see lights underneath it, and you'll see the legs that I added. Good luck.